This is going to be the most straightforward, simplified breakdown of the EUCD, the European Union Copyright Directive, Articles 11 and 13, the meme killer. It's already gotten too complicated. That's the hook. For those of you who have never met me before, I am Viva Frei. Oh yeah, a Montreal litigator turned YouTuber. I've been making daily videos for 2 years now. Law vlogs, cooking vlogs, family vlogs. So if I can trouble you to hit the like, share, and subscribe button, the notification bell, I would greatly appreciate it. The EUCD, what does it mean? What do you have to know about it? Everyone has been talking about two articles in particular. Article 11, the link tax, and Article 13, the upload filter, also known as the meme killer. The problem with this piece of legislation, get out of here. The problem with this piece of legislation is that it's very complicated, difficult to understand, to the point where I'm not sure that anyone actually understands what's in it and what it means. The directive itself is intended to bring copyright law up to date. It's intended to increase protection for copyright holders, make it easier to pursue copyright infringement, and increase revenue for the copyright holders for use of copyrighted materials. In pursuit of this goal, the European Union is actually adopting a directive that the member states are then supposed to adopt into national law. There are two articles in this directive that are concerning people, Article 11 and Article 13. Article 11 is called the link tax. The idea behind that is that news aggregators such as Reddit, Facebook, Google, who churn out results for news articles in their search results would have to pay a link tax to the copyright holders or the publishers of the news article. Now, at first I didn't understand this because I'm saying to myself, if Google is just bringing up the links and people are clicking on the links to the source, what loss or prejudice do they suffer? The reality is that when Google, in their Google News, brings up the results, they bring up the headline, they bring up something of 1 or 2 lines of a caption of the article to the point where people are getting the gist of the article without even having to click through it. So Google would pay a link tax just for bringing up those results in their Google News searches. The concern is that Google's not going to pay this tax and that they're just going to shut down or stop offering the service, which they've threatened to do and which they've done in Spain, from what I understand, and they're threatening to do the same thing in Europe. The risk then is that publication or communication, this access to news is going to be compromised if Google is no longer producing the search results and people are not going to have the same access to information that they have now. Article 13, the upload filter or the meme killer. The rationale behind Article 13 is that they want to make it easier for copyright holders to prevent unlawful copyright infringement. The way they're going to do that is by holding the platforms that might be hosting work that infringes on copyright personally liable for that copyright infringement. Article 13 would make the platforms personally liable in addition to the copyright violator themselves. The obvious risk for YouTube is that with 300 hours of video uploaded every minute, a lot can slip through, and if YouTube is personally liable for the damages, it's a big cost that they're not going to want to incur or risk the exposure for. What are they going to do? They're going to implement upload filters, which are going to block any copyrighted material at the upload stage. No problem? There is a problem. The problem is that works that are not actually infringing on copyright will get blocked at the stage of the upload filter because the filters are not perfect. They can't distinguish between critique, review, news, parody, and bona fide copyright infringement. Everyone's concern is that this is going to kill content creation because people are not going to be able to do things like meme reviews. Memes which are necessarily based on copyrighted works like, let's say, the Gru meme or 40-year-old virgin memes or all sorts of memes. Any meme that you know, which is a guy's face in a GIF or whatever, is based on copyrighted work. Now, whether or not meme is parody to the point where it is protected under fair use, the upload filters are not going to be able to decipher that, and they're going to block everything at the upload stage, which means basically that all content that's going to get uploaded to YouTube is going to have to be what we call clean content. It's not going to be able to use music, segments of news reporting, clips from movies, screenshots, anything that is copyright protected. The content will not be able to include that without potentially and probably being flagged at the upload stage by the upload filters. The major concerns are that content that is going to violate this is going to be blocked in Europe because this is going to be a European Union directive and not one that applies in, say, I don't know, Russia, North America, whatever. So the idea is that all of Europe is going to have a blackout of the internet, and from certain content that is not going to pass the upload stage under the provisions of this European Union copyright directive. It's passed the initial vote in September. It's going for final vote in January 2019. After that, it is going to be up to the individual members of the European Union to reflect the directive in national law. So that might be a year or two down the line. The problem is that in the meantime, YouTube is not going to take chances on allowing copyright infringing content to be uploaded. They're going to be implementing the upload filter, and they're going to err on the side of caution because they don't want dollars coming out of their pockets, and they might just block off a lot of content and its access to countries that are governed by the European Union and this EUCD. YouTube has these filters in place now, and they effectively do the same thing now that they would do under the EUCD. The only issue is that now YouTube is not personally liable in the event that copyright infringed work makes its way onto the platform, whereas it would be under the EUCD, which means that they're going to be cripplingly careful in terms of content to block at the upload stage content that might infringe on copyright. Alright, I think I've gotten this to under 5 minutes with some slick editing. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, tell your friends, share the channel, and you have just been vlogged. Is that too much of a knockoff of Philip DeFranco? Peace out.